you know how it is. You've got like 15 to 30 foundations in your drawer and you're constantly reaching for, oh, this one that day, oh, that one that day. And sometimes it's hard to see if there's one foundation that really meshes with or doesn't mesh with your skin. So I decided to create a series called One Foundation for a Week. And a week is about as long that I can go before I start getting bored with a particular formulation and then I want to move on and use something else that I just bought or something that's in my rotation. There are a few exceptions to this rule. For example, my Temp2 makeup and airbrush machine is something I've been using for almost 6 years now. I love Temp2 SPF. What am I talking about? SPF. I love Temp2 foundations and always will go back to them. They're always going to be in my rotation. That's a given. But I do have a lot of other things that I like to cycle through. So this is Rcma. They have been around since 1963. They are a company out of Hollywood, California, family owned and operated. No, I am not affiliated with them, but they are awesome. And basically what this is the creme of their line. This is their color process foundation. It's a cream potted foundation. Now this is a cult favorite. People have been talking about this foundation for the last, I would say 3 to 4 years on the internet. It really blew up over the last 2 years, especially on websites like beautylish.com that feature makeup brands, and then they seem to like explode once Beautylish starts talking about them. So what Rcma is, it's basically a company that's been around in Hollywood, California for I want to say going on 40 some odd years. They've been in existence since the 1960s, and they're all about makeup that just caters to the movie industry professional, but now they're really starting to become big in the beauty blogger and vlogger universe, and now everyone on YouTube is talking about it. But it's not just a fad type makeup. I think people are talking about it now because it is such a good makeup and really does deserve the attention that it's been given. And basically what this is the creme of their line. This is their color process foundation. It's a cream potted foundation. Now they come standalone like this in little pots, or you can get them in palettes. I'm sure you've seen those reviews online from people who have bought entire palettes of Rcma makeup. And that's usually a good choice if you're a professional makeup artist and using lots of different colors on lots of different clients and things like that. And the color I am is KO1. They do have on their website charts and different things to help you pick what color you should be wearing. If you're olive tone, yellow tone, red undertones, things like that, you can look and research that up. But for me, just while we're talking about it, I'm KO1. So this is a cream foundation, you guys, and I use a metal spatula to scoop out a tiny bit of product, probably about half the size of my pinky nail, if not less than that. And I mean, I think I would probably have to throw this whole pot out for hygienic reasons before I would ever get to the bottom of it, just using it on myself. I mean, that's how little you need to use. So basically the way you use this foundation is you scoop out a little bit. I would use like a cuticle stick if you have one, just to keep things nice and clean, or, you know, a Q-tip or a metal spatula if you have one, you know, the type that makeup artists use. And what I do is you take that tiny little bit and you warm it up on the back of your hand. Warm it up, warm it up, warm it up. The best way to apply this foundation is with a flat foundation brush. That's what I have found to be the best technique. If you use a buffing brush, you tend to kind of disappear the product into the skin. Like, it is so sheer once you warm it up and start buffing it on, that if you buff too hard or have, you know, a larger application tool like those fluffy foundation brushes, it just tends to almost kind of buff it away. So you do kind of have more control and coverage if you use a flat foundation brush, but you can still get a really light look. I have used several different primers underneath this. I have used a NARS primer, I've used a Smashbox primer, and currently I'm using and obsessed with just the basic Temp2 SB primer that's sold on the Temp2 Pro website, and that works great underneath this. If you don't like makeup primer, you can definitely even use a nice, you know, basic lightweight hydrating moisturizer underneath it, and it will work fabulous. Actually, the Rcma website recommends just using a basic moisturizer underneath it, and obviously you want to let it dry down. and then it'll apply beautifully. So this foundation needs to be applied in lightweight layers. So after you scoop out your desired amount, and remember, less is more, always start with less rather than more, and warming it up. And I just tend to dot all over on my face where I want coverage. And you can continue to do that in light layers until you get the level of coverage that you want. And I really find that this is very, very much like skin. It mimics skin. It does not look like a heavier foundation. Even liquid foundations that I've used at the drugstore tend to get really heavy and cakey a lot quicker than something like this. And you wouldn't think that, but this is a very cosmetically elegant formula. It's just made of basic plant oils and waxes. So once it's warmed up and kind of buffed onto the skin with a flat foundation brush, you will find that it mimics skin. It looks a lot like skin. Like you could keep buffing this and you'll start seeing little freckles or little spots that you have underneath start showing through. That's how sheer and skin like this can be. So just remember that, just kind of work up into like light layers until you get the level of coverage that you want. If you have a drier skin type, you may not need to set this with any type of powder, and it will definitely look like skin throughout the day. You can maybe just use a blotting sheet if you find that you need to as the day progresses. If you're a combination to oilier skin type like myself, I would recommend setting this with a powder. I just use a soft powder puff and the Rcma no color powder, and I can do a review on that as well if you guys are interested. It's my 100% all-time favorite facial powder. It is absolutely no color, and when I say no color, there's no color. It will not alter the color of any foundation that you're putting it on top of, and even translucent powder out there, you guys, has color in it, so keep that in mind. It leaves like a slightly white grayish cast on the skin, so if you use their no color powder, you will love it, especially with this. But I digress. This isn't a video about powder. I'm just saying that the normal to oilier skin types would definitely want to do a light layer of powder on top of this. I find the best way to do that is with a powder puff, and you want to press and roll very lightly with the powder puff to set this. You will have all day wear. It is beautiful. Now, I've been wearing this every day for about 2 weeks here. I'm in Texas. It's very hot. It's very humid. I don't know if you can see, I've had this on my face. It's now 1:06. I've been up since 7. I've had this makeup on since 8. So that is going on 5 hours, and I haven't blotted at all. So I'm going to continue to wear this as the day progresses, and I'll probably blot once around my nose and my chin. But other than that, you guys, this wears beautifully. Pretty much everyone in Hollywood has this in their kit, and they use it to varying degrees. It can be used as a concealer if you use it thicker. You can definitely warm it up, shear it down, and use it and get like a tinted moisturizer type look to the skin. It's really awesome. The company doesn't waste money on advertising. What they do is they just formulate the best, most cosmetically elegant product and just sell it to industry professionals and people, you know, like us that watch these videos and know that this is out there. This is unlike anything you will find in the drugstore in that it is highly pigmented. You get way more product in here than you would ever get, you know, for your money in a department store or even a drugstore for that matter. And you're going to have something that's going to be like a concealer if you need it, or, you know, like I said, like a tinted moisturizer if you want something sheer. So the Rcma color process foundation, I absolutely love it. I've been wearing it for almost 2 weeks straight. I haven't really been like wanting to use anything else because I'm starting to really like hit a groove with it and love it, and been getting compliments on my skin as well. It's a great product, so check it out, guys.